Hey guys, it's Spike from National Vapors Club. We're going to do a quick bathrobe review because I don't feel like getting dressed again. And I've been trying to do this video review for a long time. This is the E2 XL cartomizer, and it's huge. If we compare it to a regular sized one, if we were to screw that one in, it would come up to about here. So the size difference is pretty significant. The large one, the XL one that we're reviewing, probably is about 2 inches long. Fits a lot of juice in it. I was able to put in about 1.5 to 1 3/4 milliliters of liquid. And for those of you that don't know, the E2 cartomizer doesn't have stuffing in it, polyfill. It has an empty ceramic cup stopped up with a silicone O-ring. And there's 2 holes in the O-ring. Excuse the dog choking. There's 2 holes in the O-ring where you can put a needle or syringe into the holes. It actually, I believe if you buy them from CloudsofVapor, which is where mine came from, they actually come with a little fake syringe that has like a tube on it. So instead of being a hard needle, it's actually like a little tube, and you put the tube just at the opening of that little hole or into the little opening of the hole, not the hole in the top, but if you pull this off and take out the second ring inside of there, there's a third O-ring underneath it that has 2 holes in the O-ring. So you put the needle or syringe or syringe tube into the hole, and you can use a syringe to push all of your liquid into the cartomizer. Now once it's filled up, you can put your 2 stoppers back in, or O-rings back in, or the O-ring and the little white stopper top back in, or you can stick a drip tip on top. Some people do that, but the juice on the cartomizers tends to jump a little bit, so when it gets hot, it kind of pops and jumps a little bit, so sometimes it's better to have the top closed. It vapes really well, produces a lot of vapor. It has a good flavor. I'm not actually really big on cartos. I didn't like them because you taste the filler material. And I think that when you're tasting juice, you should taste the juice, not the filler. So, I never really liked cartomizers, but since they came out with these E2 cartomizers where you can actually put the juice in an empty cup instead of soaking it into filler, seems to make a big difference, and it tastes a lot better. This one has a tendency to not wick fast enough. It's probably my only real complaint. Well, all right, 2 complaints about it. Number one, it doesn't wick fast enough. So if I were to take that one puff and then take another puff right away, the second puff would be a little bit burnt and dry tasting and would hurt my throat a little bit because I didn't give it a chance for the liquid to wick back in. It's, again, a good flavor as long as you give it a second to re-wick. The other complaint that I would have about it is that there's not much throat hit. It's actually pretty pathetic throat hit. When they first started making cartomizers, they only had the carry it away cartomizers. I tried to carry it away a cartomizer, and I had a pretty decent throat hit, but almost no vapor. So it was a little bit frustrating because you'd feel it, but then you wouldn't see much on the exhale. With these 510, E2 cartomizers, you get a lot of vapor production. You get, a massive amount of vapor, but you don't feel a lot of throat hit for some reason. You only feel the throat hit if it burns, so it's not really a good thing. It's midnight, that's why I'm wearing the bathrobe, so a little tired. Oh no, it's 1:15 in the morning. Look at that. Does fit on with the Ego cone. So it works with the cone. And you actually have enough air passage to get air in the top. And looks a little bit funny, but not ridiculous. Does the job. Cone definitely makes the vapor a little bit hotter on it, but still you're not getting a lot of throat hit. It's like a smooth heat, so you feel hotter vapor, but not a whole lot of punch. So anyway, I just wanted to give my thoughts on that. CloudsofVapor.com. It's fantastic for driving. I actually got it because I was making a 3-hour road trip and I knew I needed something where I wouldn't be dripping and driving the whole time, so I got it. And even though you have to space out your puffs so that there's room in between so it doesn't get burnt, the fact that you don't have to drip and that you can just, take a puff, put it down, wait a few seconds, take another puff, definitely helped make that drive a lot easier. So I would definitely recommend it. It's definitely convenient. If you're not huge on throat hit, it's fine. If you are huge on throat hit, I would recommend the low resistance cartomizers from Clouds of Vapor because their LR cartos have a much better throat hit than this does. But this holds a lot more liquid and is much better for long-term rides. So, those are my thoughts. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to post.